This is a heat map for Bitcoin. A heat map records buy, sell, and cancel orders. It gives you microsecond details about those orders versus a chart with just candles. On a heat map, you have different elements, and we're going to go through the basic ones because the purpose of this video is to show you manipulations by whales using spoofing orders. On a heat map, you have the price line where all these little bubbles are in candles. And the price line is where buyers and sellers met and agreed on those transactions. On this price line, the big green bubbles represent big orders, buy orders that were filled. Likewise, a giant red bubble show the big sell order that was filled. There are also little green bubbles and little red bubbles. You can see also the traditional candlesticks here. Here's a green candlestick. Here's a red candlestick. And the difference between the green candlesticks and all these other micro details, I'll zoom in here. You can see, you see how far the candles are apart. Here's one candle, but you don't see the next one anywhere near in the screen. But this shows you the level of details in microseconds between the candles. Candles are aggregate actions around buying and selling, and they group a time period into a candle. The nice thing about heat map is that it shows you all the details in between. That's not the nice thing about it. So let's zoom back, zoom out a little bit so we can see the candles again. Okay. Above the price line, you see dark bluish, light bluish, and sometimes orange, whitish colors. Those are sell orders. Anything above the price line are sell orders. Vice versa, on the bottom of the price line are buy orders. You see similar, here's some orange and yellow ones, and they tend to be pretty small. The cooler the colors, like dark blue, almost blackish, those are smaller orders. And when you get towards the red, those are bigger orders, larger orders. So here you see larger orders, buy orders here versus a really dark one here, the group of them here, and likewise for the sell orders above. In addition to those, there are also these horizontal colored bands. Here you see one that's yellowish that turns into red, slightly darker orange turns into dark red, and here's another one on top, and it goes all horizontally. One thing that you get about the heat map is that the actions on the far right here, that's closer to the present time. You can see that by a timestamp here. This one's for 4:50 last night or earlier in the morning, and back here is 4:20. So that's a span of like 30 minutes here. And as we move the chart, we'll be moving it this way, so you can see what's on this side. So back to the sell orders. Some sell orders are permanent, kind of permanent. They were placed there by some whales, like in these cases, because the colors are so deep and warm. They were placed there by some whales. Maybe they had intentions to buy at those levels for real. But often what I see is that these sell orders are fake, and they're designed to suppress the price of Bitcoin, force it to go down. And the reason they do that is because when you have a large order, a large supply of Bitcoin up here to sell, people that are close to it, or like above it, they're concerned that their sell orders may not get filled, so they lower their prices down below this thing, because otherwise this large sell order will eat up all the demand, and people don't want that, so they want to sell it. So that what happens is they push their prices lower, and then one person push his or her price lower. The next person's like, oh no, I gotta go lower, and then it cascades. So that's how it suppresses the price and push it down. So there's the more supply you have above the price line that's greater than demand, the lower the price will go. On the other hand, you have these buy walls. Like here's one that I'm tracing my mouse along. It's orange and red, and there's some white in there, and it's been there for quite some time. You can see that like before around, before 425 or 423, it wasn't even there. Actually, it was lower. So what these buy walls are designed to do is and if they're spoofing buy walls, fake ones, they're designed to push the price up, which is opposite of these sell walls. So how they work is this. So you can see this one right here. This wall was placed here to force the price to go up, and you can see right as the price came down close, it started rising because of this buy wall, and you can see that the price rise up. What they did was they changed their buy wall right here. It's gone right here. They moved it up further to force the price to go up further. And how buy walls work is this. If you have a large order, you see a giant order here, and you're a small investor, and you're like, oh no, I better raise my price up so that I can buy these sell orders before they get filled by this giant buy order here. So as price, and then that causes a cascading effect. So people raise their buy targets, and they keep competing to raise it up, and so the price go up. You can see that here. Drops down, large buy order comes in, a large buy wall comes in. People raise their buy prices, and the price naturally go up. But you can see there is a sell wall up here and a buy wall down here. Oftentimes that's because you have a battle between the whales, the short whales and the long whales. Long whales want to push the price to go up. Short whales want to push the price to go down so they can short the asset, so they can buy it at a lower price. So let's take a look and see what happens as we move to the forward. You can see as price started to go up, this spoof sell wall, they don't want to get it fulfilled because they're just there to fake it. They don't want to buy it. They just want to push it down. So as soon as price go up, they broke off and they raised it up again because, again, they don't want to get it filled. They just want to push it down. They raised it up to a little bit to force it to go down. And you can see the price started to drop slightly right there. And then you have on the other side, these people, these whales that want to force the price to go up, they broke off here and they changed their huge buy orders to be at a higher price target. So it forced the price to go up. So it's a competing battle constantly. And that's usually the case. Sometimes it's just one, either a giant buy wall down here or a giant sell wall up here. And they're trying to manipulate the market. Let's continue to go forward. So here they did it again. The price went up close and they raised their sell fake wall up here. They're just running away from it for now. So I'm going to move this faster forward so we can see what happens. So here you can see that multiple sell walls started coming in here. And so the price is going up. They don't want it to go up. So here it went up. It went close to where their target was. So they're like, no, I got to get away. But just enough so that I can still force the price to go down. So they moved it up back here, up here. And as the price approached, they moved it up here. And then they keep doing that because there's pressure down here. You can see this group right here, they had a buy wall here. So they raised it up here to force it to go up again. So it's just continuing battle. Here, as the price went down, they lowered they broke off their wall and they lowered it down to here to force it to go down some more. But you have on the opposite side, the opposite's happening. This wall here, as it was moving down, they're trying to avoid having to get it filled. So they lowered it down slightly, but keeping the pressure still there. So we move forward. And this is what I want to show you. So here, around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, you can see a lot of action here. All this pressure from the buy walls down here, it forced the price to go up. And then as the price broke through here and it ate up some of the supply here, this whale's like, nope, I better move my order. So what they did was they started moving up and up and up. You can see it. It broke off here, went to here, went to here, 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 here. They kept raising it, not wanting to get it fulfilled. And then, but you can see this buy wall completely drop off the map here, but they started putting pressure. They broke off, put pressure here, keep putting pressure to push the price all the way up. Let's see what happens. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit so you can see. So as price continue to go up, they kept applying pressure, and these guys just kept moving their target up, and eventually it just broke all the way through. And then you can see like these buy walls, they don't continue horizontally down here. They moved it up and kept trying to apply pressure. You can see all the abundance of supply up here, but there's less demand down here. So when supply exceeds demand, the price falls. And it falls and falls. And you see this giant red candle here. And you see these buy walls down here disappearing as the price falls. And you can see they try to get it to go back up here, but it didn't help. The price kept dropping and dropping, and the pressure from the sell walls kept dropping, and eventually they held steady here. They had another one here and here, so they kept changing it. And oftentimes this type of volatility happens around when perpetual futures and or options, future options expire. It happens close to that point because they're trying to manipulate the spot market to have their positions in the future market get fulfilled, because those positions are typically highly leveraged and they can make a lot more money over there. And because the price in the future is tied to the spot market, it's easy for them to come over and manipulate the spot market. To have these dark red and orange bands, you can't just put in a fake order with fake money. You have to have real stable coins, real assets available to be able to create these orders. And that's why they don't want those things to be fulfilled. They just want to change the market dynamics. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped you understand how market manipulation can often occur in crypto and other markets.